We sincerely hope that your scallops are cooked properly and that your steak is properly cooked because a certain British chef would not like it if your meat was undercooked. Welcome to Kitchen Talk. Hello, everyone. My name is Ryan Cam, and welcome to Kitchen Talk Episode 1, where we're going to be diving into the wild world of Hell's Kitchen, one of my favorite TV shows of all time. It's a show I can watch any day of the week and never get bored by it, even though I've seen it too many times. This is going to be like small talk. I've seen it and loved it. Collins sees it, has seen it, loves it. Matt Wyatt has not seen it. So the dynamic is flipped for this one. But Jacob Collins, how are you?
Well, I'm good, as long as I don't get fucking raw scallops, then I'm fucking good, okay? As long as I don't get like a dog's dinner, then I'm fucking great, okay? Why don't you fuck off, donkey?
Or a dehydrated camel's turd. But Matt Wyatt, how are you?
When I don't want the shit fucking food. It tastes fucking raw. It tastes like dog shit. Do that fucking again.
You know what? I will say, I really like this episode, though. I mean, I was really, really enjoying this episode. I'm great, man. I'm really great. I love Hell's Kitchen. I'm up to season 16 on the show. Matt's on season 1. And I just forgot how, because I'm like so far ahead on this series, to where I looked at this show and I'm like, this is like Fear Factor level of quality back in like season 1, where it's like, you can tell, like the guy's walking past the camera rig. Where it's like right now, like there's a camera.
And literally, Gordon Ramsay's like the version of Simon from American Idol.
Pretty much, yeah.
He comes to America for the first time and tries to get these new aspiring chef to be the best. And they had no idea what the fuck they were getting themselves into until you meet him.
Well, one guy says literally, my idea is to be either a chef or a billionaire or
state senator.
I've had 2 dreams for my life, one of which was to either be a state senator, the other of which is to own a restaurant.
Or state senator, yeah. And I'm like, what? That's a completely different task.
Well, the reason this show came about is that basically Collins and I were talking about Hell's Kitchen and how much we love it, and we decided it's one of those, it's a meme on the channel where it's like coming to the channel, something talk. Well, here we actually turned it into a reality. And Hell's Kitchen is technically turning 20 years old this year. On May 30th, this episode aired in 2005. And we're recording this April 22nd. It'll go up on the 23rd. So we're in striking distance of the 20-year anniversary right here. So it's a bit timely. Plus, I love me some Hell's Kitchen. So why not do a show about it? So let's get into it. And it's not going to be like small talk in that we're not going to be doing 3 episodes a shot like we do there. We're going to do one at a time because each of these episodes is kind of like a mini movie in and of itself. There's so much going on with these episodes. You just got to do as much as you can to cover one at a time. So we're going to...
There's no filler episodes. There's none filler.
No.
Exactly. There's never a boring episode with Hell's Kitchen. I'm just going to leave it at that. But let's get into it. This is season 1, episode 1, quite simply called Day 1, and this is the first day, and we meet our contestants who, and I'll just read off the list off of the wiki: Michael, Ralph, Jessica, Elsie, Jimmy, Andrew, Chris, Mary Ellen, Wendy, Jeff, Dewberry, and Carol Ann.
My name is Dewberry, and I'm a baker by profession.
It's like a stereo. It's just like, if this is a character in a movie, this would be the stereotypical gay guy. I'm just saying, like.
The funny thing is, when he was introducing himself to Ramsay, they Dewberry. He's like Blueberry.
Dewberry.
Blueberry.
Dewberry.
Or Dewberry.
No. My name is Dewberry. I'm an aspiring chef. He's like a Southern mother stereotype. Overweight fucker. The moment he comes in, I started laughing, and he just almost trips and falls over. Like, oh.
Have you seen American Dad?
I'm sorry, what?
Have you seen American Dad? Like, there's an episode of American Dad.
Not really. I didn't
where
watch
his
that
daughter
much.
was in the CIA. Stan Smith's daughter. He's the lead. Stan Smith, the CIA guy. his daughter was in the CIA, and he tries to introduce because he wants her to marry a strong man, masculine man. Introduces to this guy who sounds just like Dewberry. He's like, hello. He's like a rich guy. He goes, hello. He's a Southern belle. He goes, hello. And she goes, Dad, I don't think I'm his type. He goes, come on, he's a masculine man. And he goes, Dad, I don't think he's attracted to women like me. He says, and then he goes, and like later on, like, you know, he just looks like, he goes, later on, like, he mind trips his daughter into marrying him. And he goes, now you may kiss the bride. He goes, do I have to kiss her? It's like
every time that Dewberry speaks, I start laughing. A stereotype Southern redneck dude.
Well, those are your competitors. They walk in, they drink champagne, they're seeing the kitchen. They meet chefs Scott and Marianne, who are the sous chefs, and they basically give them you have 45 minutes to impress Chef Ramsay. Good luck. And like
he's on his way, and then Chef Ramsay just goes to, which, to be fair, that doesn't happen later seasons. Like, well, I'm not trying to spoil, but like that does. It's not like that. Like, you know, usually, and I honestly like how I do like, because this is probably the most dialogue the sous chefs get in the entire for the next like 8 seasons, because they're mostly background characters.
With the exception of Scott's like lashing out on occasion, but we'll cover.
Or Mary lashing out at the girls for once or twice in like one season. You know, when she throws food at them and says, "Clean it up, bitches."
Well, after they cook, the first thing they do is the signature dish challenge, which is basically, it's the staple. If you've ever seen American Idol, it's the audition round. It's basically separating the wheat from the chaff. And boy, this thing goes terribly. Basically, first up is Andrew, and this guy is just punchable face, ego a mile long. Like, he creates a dish called Andrew's Absolute Penne, and Gordon Ramsay's response to this is, it's absolute dog shit.
It's called Andrew's Absolute Penne.
Andrew's Absolute Penne. That is absolute dog shit.
I started dying. Like, this is absolute dog shit.
And then Andrew like goes and tastes it, and he's like, could use some salt. And Gordon's like, oh, you think you're smart, huh? And Andrew's like, I have my moments. And I'm just like, this is not the time. This is not
you want to punch Andrew right then and there. Fuck that guy.
Oh, and now, like, Gordon Ramsay will tell you all straight up to your face. Like, he doesn't give a shit. Like, there's like one thing where he, like, in the later season, a guy mouths off to him, and he says, like, come here. He said, if you gotta say something about it, he said, you got something to say? Say it. And the guy's just like quiet. And he says, let me tell you something. You want to say something? You say it to my face. You don't talk about my fucking back. And then he's like, get back in line. Just like, oh.
Yeah, that's in a much later season, but it's still
much.
Yeah, don't get ahead of yourself. I haven't even watched the rest of it.
But he has, like, Gordon Ramsay does have a temper where he will tell you.
I've noticed he has a temper. You don't need to tell me twice.
Mary Ellen makes an endive salad, which nothing is cooked on it. Wendy makes
the salad. Holy fuck!
She fucked up a salad, by the way.
She fucked up a salad. Hands it to Ramsay, throws it back at her. Can I get the fuck back in line?
Wendy makes fried rice. Wendy makes fried rice with Chinese sausage. She said she would have made it with lobster had she known that Ramsay was coming. And Ramsay's like, you knew I was coming.
Had I known you were coming, I would have put lobster in it.
You knew I was coming.
You knew I was coming. You knew
I
I was
put
coming.
that in my notes. I'm like, why are you an idiot? Like,
she's so fucking stupid.
He's going to be here in 45 minutes. I heard that.
If I knew you would come. No, you knew I was coming.
Jimmy is then next. He serves up a stuffed chicken breast, which Ramsay called a dehydrated camel's turd and said it was dry, overcooked, and raw on the inside.
Is
which
that the guy with glasses that looks like Delbert?
No, we'll get to him in just a second. But he serves Gordon the carrot tops. Like, who wants to eat that? Honestly, I know no one who wants to eat that.
Who wants to eat that?
None of them. By the way, this is used to, like, this is. I love that this is before you had to be you had to be required for having cooking like, now you have to have cooking experience on the show. Used to, you could just go on the show.
what was that woman that had no cooking experience? Like Caroline or Caroline, whatever her name
Elsie.
is.
We'll get
Elsie?
to her.
Yeah.
But Ralph serves seared tuna with hot and cold noodles. He's an executive chef, and Gordon Ramsay's not impressed.
And what position are you?
The number one.
You're the number one.
Yeah.
With that shit.
And then we get to Elsie, who honestly makes one of the better dishes of the entire round, and she's just a mom of 3, like
Six.
stepmother to 3 more.
Yeah.
So she's a mom. She makes these turkey tacos. I'm like, they don't look the best, but I would eat them, and they're like the only thing that Ramsay likes, except for one other.
Shockingly.
And then
I like how he yells to the kid staff. She doesn't have no cooking experience, and she cooked better than the executive chef. I was like,
That to me is saying something. That's just so sad and embarrassing for a guy who has more experience than that woman, and yet she did better than you schmuck.
And then we get to Dewberry. Bless
Dewberry.
his soul.
Every time I hear Dewberry.
Blueberry, Dewberry, Blueberry,
Blueberry.
Ramsay clearly heard him. He's just
He's just fucking with them.
yeah. Like Gordon Ramsay doesn't make mistakes like that. But anyway,
That dude is a fucking tool.
Yeah.
And every time he comes out of his mouth, he sounds like a cartoon character from Family Guy or American Dad, what you brought up, Jake, earlier today.
American Dad, yeah.
but then he makes a plate of spaghetti, and the music is the
Baked spaghetti.
The dramatic, ominous music. And the look on us like, oh no.
He's
How
going
long
to
did you
kill
make
me.
spaghetti? Just looks like it's been sitting there just like
It looks like soggy fucking spaghetti or someone threw up all over it.
Which there was 2 people that it was the mama 6 and then the other girl, the one
Carol Ann.
Carol Ann, yeah.
which
And
I
then-
honestly thought, I was like Carol Ann, I was like, to which if it kind of is stupid the way it's like all these people, even the people that have cooking experience, like one guy has scallops and he goes, scallops. He said, you got me scallops. And he says, you can't even cook scallops. Well, I mean, and like he's like, I'm like, the guy really didn't have nothing on the plate. It was like one little thing with scallops on it. And I'm like, the scallops should be good. I mean, like, are you serious? You can't cook scallops.
Then we get to Chris. This is the guy who looks like Dilbert with the glasses, and he gives Ramsay salmon roasted on a plank of cedar, and Ramsay's response is to immediately call him a plank, which just
that dude is a fucking douchebag. The look on his face every time I look at him, you want to punch him more than anyone.
He would be the guy.
He looks like he has a fucking ego.
Executive chef.
Executive chef.
Wait, even
He
more
would
than
be like
Andrew?
an extra in Office Space.
He borrowed Milton's stapler and hasn't given it back. It was
By the way, he said he quit his job to be there. By the way, he said I quit.
No,
my job.
that's Jeff. That's Jeff.
Yeah.
You know what? That's the guy that looks like Dilbert. But
He said, I quit my job to be here, and I'm thinking, what? You're an idiot for quitting your job, okay?
You should have kept your job just in case if this thing doesn't go well for
It's
you.
not
You
even a real show, bro. You ever thought about that? What if it wasn't even a real show? Like, what if it's kind of like one of the Bachelor or something?
like he served Ramsay nice sauce though with an overcooked steak and mushrooms. So like all right. But then Jessica, who I swear to God looks like Pink,
Shit.
Be mine. I'm Jessica.
Jessica.
like the artist Pink.
She
like,
does. She does. And this is in the mid 2000s.
Yeah, Pink wasn't even a thing
Though.
back.
She's hot.
I'm
She's
not
all
gonna
right.
lie.
She's all right.
But she makes these fried crab looking things, and immediately Ramsay just like downs a bottle of water. It's like, it's burning my mouth off.
It's burning my mouth. It's super spicy. It's super hot.
And then Michael, who Michael serves Ramsay a plate of scallops with the roe on it, which I don't know much about seafood, but I do know the roe is the eggs of the fish, which you do not want to eat. So that's nice. And then Michael gets said that he has the palate of a cow's backside. which I thought was one of the lighter insults of the episode.
That's a lighter insult.
Yeah, it's a light one. I mean, Chris got called.
I want to know about that.
Chris got called a plank two chefs ago, so there is that. But then, finally, to wrap things up, we get Carol Ann, who serves chicken parmesan, which looks the best of all of these and tastes the best. And like Collins was mentioning, she has no experience, like literally none. And we'll get to her treatment in just a little bit. But then everyone is split up into teams, and they're co-ed teams. And I won't jump too far ahead, but Matt, this is not the norm going forward. It's basically a couple seasons of it's co-ed, and then they go to men versus women for the majority of the run, and then they go back to mixing it up again before blowing that up again. But we'll cross that bridge when we get there.
But this one is about splitting into the red team and blue team.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So then they go to the dorm, and then 30 minutes later is like, oh, by the way, we're opening. I'm like, that was quick. Anyone does well in this whole episode.
Honestly, like, I didn't even know what this was even about. I mean, I was well aware of the show. My dad puts it on in the living room, and I see bits and pieces of that episodes, but I didn't really know what the hell it was about. I knew Gordon Ramsay was very critical and doesn't hold anything back. Then watching this first episode, I was like, okay, now I know what the hell this is now. You recruit the inspired chef, and you test them out when they give him the cook, and he judges it and splits them off into two teams. And their job is to show them what they've got.
But Collins, you'll back me up on this one. This is the only season where Ramsay gets sit downs, right?
So I just want to see no panic, no wimps.
Yeah, he doesn't talk to the camera after that. It's usually the people. The only time he speaks to the camera is whenever is during he puts the jackets on the hook. That's the only time you hear him like. Is like his monologue at the end, like, you know.
But when he says, I expect nothing less but pure concentration, me in the future put in the foreshadowing clip here. In the business, we call this foreshadowing clip because that is not what happens here.
In the business, we call this foreshadowing.
But going back to what Jake was saying, that the budget was cheap, like, you got to remember, this is the first season, and they didn't shoot this in HD, and this was on a low. Yeah, they were. This was not. It was not a big hit at the time. It was starting, and this was about them trying to figure out what the hell the show is.
Have you watched the original Hell's Kitchen, like the British version of this?
No, I've never watched any of it. I don't even watch. And here's the thing: I don't even watch a lot of reality shows.
I watched like one episode where like a British woman is angry because of her hours, and so she tries to smack, and everybody he's like, you know, more polite, and she tries to smack him and everything, and he swings at her, and she goes, "Calm down." He says, "Calm down," and everything, and I'm just like, she's like, "Just go on," and then everybody's like, "Calm down." It's like Gordon Ramsay just sitting there like he's just like dodging her swings, and I'm just thinking that's hardcore right there.
But you know what Gordon Ramsay reminds me from J.K. He reminds me of J.K. Simmons from Whiplash, when he's always giving the band a hard time.
Yeah,
I'm surprised he didn't want to throw a chair at the fucking chefs.
Well, I mean, he was trained by what's his name? Not Wolfgang.
Marco Pierre White.
Yeah, Marco Pierre White. They literally trained him. Like, there's like, you could see, like, I found YouTube videos of Gordon Ramsay being trained where he's literally like, you know, like just rolling like, you know, noodles, making homemade noodles. And then of course, Marco Rubio was like telling the person, like, he says, tell them, he says, perfection. We're not opening until perfection. And he goes, and somebody tells him off, he goes, tell them to go fuck themselves. And I'm just thinking, like, oh, I can tell where he gets that from now. Like, perfection, and tell them fuck off.
Yeah, if we ever dive into Marco Pierre White's TV shows, oh boy, that'll be a trip.
Gordon Ramsay, literally, like, that's like he's like Marco
Pierre White.
Marco Pierre White.
Jr. I thought you said Marky Mark. Like, oh wow,
Marco. Yeah, let me tell you something, okay? I cook. Okay, I have Wahlburgers.
I cook here. Let me tell you something, huh? But if you don't make this profession, I'm gonna give you a world-class knuckle sandwich, bro.
Tell you what, I've been going over here all day. I'll be your stepfather by the weekend.
But
I will say I do like how like Ramsay will be there and be here, and like the chef's telling Andrew your food's dog shit.
Way, then we get to the dinner service, and Ralph and Jeff are made waiters, and they do about as well as you might expect. I mean, Jeff does terribly. Ralph does okay. Ralph's service pretty much saves the blue team. The blue team wins. Wins, but the service is terrible. Like literally, Chris gets a piece of salmon slammed into his chest.
Little fucked up stuff. There you go. There you go.
Like, and
That
you
was
won't
funny.
open.
I
You
laughed.
won't open a restaurant. Get in the bin. I'm just
Get in the bin. Get back to fucking work. Do it again. I
then-
love that. I love this part when the customers, those blonde bimbos, is like, hey, and he just tells them to fuck off.
Let's go.
Just ignore these bimbos.
Fuck off.
Just ignore.
He's like, hey, direct them to plastic surgery.
I
I was like, damn.
They
Like, he was just shitting on the customers. Like, he doesn't
come
fucking
back
care.
again too. They come back again. And I think they thought he was, I just think they
Just
thought he
want
was
you to
cute.
know. Just want you to know you hurt my friend's feelings. Oh, really? Please tell
really?
her
I
I
hurt your
meant
feelings.
it.
Just how I meant it. Hey, escort them out to plastic surgery.
Golly.
That was so fucking
Ralph set
bold.
them
And,
up.
like,
Ralph
he had the
set
balls.
them
He
up.
does not care. Like, he will shit talk the customers.
Oh, there's one rule: do not approach the hot plate. Do not approach that. Customers do not do that. If you have a problem, you tell JP, which is the maitre d'. He's the guy with the suit. You know, he said you have a problem, you talk to him. You do not go up to the hot plate. That's the one rule, because he will chew your ass out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially because most people coming out of a hostile standpoint, you know, like he will chew your ass a new one. Especially it gets worse. Trust me. In the season, I think it's the season. Yeah.
One of them when he was getting an interview, he was talking shit about Gordon Ramsay. Oh, come at me, bro. Oh, really? You just sat there like a little bitch when he's coming at you, you little pussy. Don't fucking be shit talking behind his back. He'll rip your new ass.
Which
he just stood there like a little bitch.
Which I will say, one thing. Ralph screwed those women over because he goes, you can go up there and talk to them.
Go speak with them. They were hungry. They were getting a little cranky, and there's nothing too much I could do at that point.
He knew exactly what he was doing, sending those women up.
Yeah,
because like Gordon Ramsay will tell him to fuck off because he has no shame in that. Which I will say, the funny thing is, I like because Jeff was like neither one of them, by the way, both of them were made waiters. Ralph is like, I don't want to be a waiter. I'm a cook. I could be helping the glue kitchen. And then Jeff's like, I think that's fair. I'm a waiter. Even though Jeff, the one who says I'm a people person, has the worst surface of the waiter. And then Ralph,
it's like, hey, I'm a people person. I deal with people for a living, and he is the worst. Did a shitty job.
I'm just like, oh my god. I was like, Ralph, and the one who was complaining about being a waiter is a better waiter than the one. I was like, I can't believe that. That's like up and down. It's like one person that's angry about it is doing better than the one person.
How do you even survive?
I was also like, the fact is, the woman, the mom of six, she made food, and the food was literally, he goes, pulls the plate up.
Yeah.
What is that?
Okay, Elsie, this is crap. This is crap.
What is that?
He pulls the blade on, nothing's falling out. I was like, what is this? What is this? What am I looking at?
Looks like a dog's, and then the ribs come up, and he goes,
looks like a dog's food.
Dog's dinner.
Dog's dinner. I don't want to be serving to them.
And that guy talks so much shit like, yeah, he ain't gonna talk to me like a dog.
It looks like a dog's dinner. And you want me to serve that in there? Fuck yourself. Get it in the bin. Get that shit out of there.
I'm like,
and he sat there and took it like a bitch. Like I mentioned before, he's all about talking shit when he's in an interview, and then when he goes up to Gordon Ramsay, he ripped him a new ass. Like, yeah, you ain't gonna talk shit. You ain't gonna do anything. Don't be a bitch.
Talk to me like that. He's like,
no one talks to me like that. And one of the women cries, like, "Oh God, are you one of those single tear people? Do I look like a double fucking rainbow to you?"
And Andrew got dealt a blow. Like Ramsay called Andrew fat, which I'm like, no, like he's kind of not. Like, but then Andrew's like, is that up to your standard, chef? And Ramsay's like, I'll let you know. I'm just.
I love when he talks to Dewberry. He's like, you stand up and you tilt it like a fucking muffin.
Just stand there. Get out of the way. Like one big fucking overgrown muffin. Just standing there. Can you help them a little bit?
A muffin, he calls it.
Like a fucking muffin.
Also, if I'm Gordon Ramsay, I'm not giving a head chef position to someone who doesn't have any cooking experience. For the head chef position, there are people on this show who are competing for a head chef position who have no cooking experience. I'm sorry, but I'm like, I would make it, they make it now because obviously I'm sure.
I think they just couldn't do it back then because the show wasn't big at the time, and they had to recruit someone even with less experience. So they probably could not afford to get one of the best chefs in the world because the show wasn't a big hit at the time. This was them starting in the first season.
I actually Googled this to see if this is real. I'm like, are these real? Like, this is not just
like, I don't know. Like, that's what I feel. And that's why I was so hesitant about reality shows.
Like, yeah, it's real. Like, they actually give these people the job. Like, these are do not. They do
yeah, because I thought it was just a scripted show, but apparently it's not a scripted show.
No, these
most
are
reality. Because most reality shows are mostly scripted, and that's why I don't watch them.
Like The Bachelor, they tell you, oh, you're gonna date for a couple months and break up. You know, that's it always happens that way with The Bachelor. Like they go on dates, they're like, oh, they get married, and then 6 months later they divorce. And I'm like, I've never seen one people like, you know what, we're gonna stay together. It's always the same shit. Even with The Golden Bachelor.
This is why I don't watch that shit.
This is legit though. This one actually is like Gordon Ramsay was like, yeah.
That's what I was hoping it would be. If this is legit, then I will keep watching the show, even if it's entertaining.
You can actually go to the Hell's Kitchen where some of them are still are. Some of them sometimes people quit. Sometimes, which I'm like, because I mean I'm not gonna spoil, but there are some people that won the job and quit that position. I'm like, why are you quitting the freaking?
There are also some winners who have actually joined Gordon Ramsay's empire and are still there today. So it's a bit of a dice throw, but it is, the prizes are real. Let's just leave it at that. But
they did say that now, from what I read from where this is shot, like I think the first season is actually shot at one of the restaurants, but then because the camera equipment and everything, what it is I think they built like a giant sound stage, and then of course everybody that shows up there are real customers, but like they basically you have to sign up months in advance. That's why these people. So that's why you don't see people react that way, because now it's like you signed up and you have to sign like a waiver and stuff, like it's saying that.
Well, yeah, because you have to sign your life away. You're signing your life away.
You're signing away saying you can't get up there and you can't make a scene and you can't talk, unless you're spoken to. Or you can conversate with the person at your table. You can't get up and go up to Gordon Ramsay and say, "I love you so much" and all that. And like you're not guaranteed a meal. You're guaranteed as much wine as you want in beverages, but you're not guaranteed a meal. It says. To which I'm like, well, that makes sense.
Yeah, because if it wasn't like well for the customers, if there wasn't like well scripted and they didn't sign their life away, then they probably would have gone on to Gordon Ramsay because he became a celebrity. In this first season, they didn't know who the fuck Gordon Ramsay was.
Yeah, well, I mean, because lately, like the seasons, like because they say after they started shooting in like a warehouse, because they said they did it mostly because they didn't have enough the film equipment and everything, all the cameras to go around. And they said like it's a real service and everything. It's just that, and those are real people. It's just that they're told ahead of time before, they like walk in, because they do this months in advance. You can't just go up there and be on Hell's Kitchen and watch them, So, which I'm like, that's good because I'm like, I wouldn't want to go to Hell's Kitchen thinking like I'm gonna eat. There's Gordon Ramsay, and all of a sudden it's like you're not getting your meal.
Yeah, no, even when the fucking contesters, the inspired chefs, are fucking everything up, and you're not going to guarantee a meal, and they would have to close the fucking place down, and you're going to be disappointed. So yeah, I agree. I would want to do that, or maybe just like, oh my god, we're going to be on TV, awesome.
Oh yeah, that was me hungry.
I wasn't me hungry.
To wrap up the episode, red team loses. Elsie is the best of the worst. She chooses, first of all, Elsie does a pretty cold move. She basically tells Dewberry.
Oh my god, I wanted to bring that up. When she talks to fucking Dewberry, and he was afraid that he was going to get fucking voted out. And she stands up and stood up for him, like, you're not going anywhere, bud. And later she fucking throws his ass under the bus.
Is Dewberry? If I get picked and Chef decides it's time for me to go, well, you know what? It's been a good run.
You're not going anywhere.
I was like, you bitch. I mean, yeah, I don't like Dewberry, that fucking Dewberry doughboy here. But oh my god, that was the shittiest thing to do, throw that guy under the bus like that. I thought that Gordon Ramsay was going to fucking trick her, like, yeah, you're out. You fucking sold out your own buddy. No, but he was not going to do that. But I thought he was for that moment. That would have been funny.
Oh, there are times, like, I'm not going to say where, but there are times where they try to save their friend. There are people that try to save their friend, and they nominate someone else. And then Gordon Ramsay's like, why are you nominating this person? He goes, well, because I just don't think they're a good chef. And then he goes, this person had a better service than even you. Okay. And he goes, no, fuck that. I want to talk to this person and this person. Because Gordon Ramsay's not stupid. He's not stupid. He knows, like, I mean, the people you could play. Oh, he said nominate 2 people. I'm going to nominate 2 people. You know, and then, like, no.
They'll nominate the worst people to vote them out.
Yeah, they try to nominate, like, they try to play, like, to be fair, like, you know, you have to nominate. They have tried, like, you know, oh, I'm going to nominate the people I want to get off my team. And instead, sometimes that backfires on them.
Yeah.
Like,
anyway, it's Carol Ann and Dewberry that end up going up, and Carol Ann is eliminated.
Carolyn, Hell's Kitchen no longer needs you.
Even though she just didn't really do all that much in service.
She didn't do shit. She stood there like a fucking statue.
I guess for the punishment of just standing there, she's gone.
But I don't know why Dewberry stand there and why he didn't vote his ass out of there. He didn't do much.
I honestly think
he said that like a fucking muffin.
It should have been Jeffrey and Dewberry. That's who it should have been up there. Jeff and Dewberry.
Yeah, but
I mean, even Gordon Ramsay said, "You're out of respect for her. You're lucky. You're 2 asses, Andrew and Jeff. You're lucky that out of respect for her, because he said that's what Gordon Ramsay's pick would have been. In which, if this was a later season, he would have told her, "I'm sorry, but I'm not picking them 2. I'm picking Jeff and Andrew."
Well, to kind of put the period at the end of the sentence, Carol Ann, after the show, because this is reality TV, I thought it'd be fun to do a what happened to them. So
I'm curious.
Carol Ann after the show, and this is from a site called Reality TV Revisited. So she left the catering world. She created an award-winning one-woman show called Burnt at the Stake, spelled S-T-E-A-K, because puns. It is about her experiences working in a steakhouse and choosing to pursue a career in performing. She had a small part in the 2016 movie Casanova Was a Woman. She was a gym instructor teaching classes in New York, and that is the last that we know. So she left food and is teaching people fitness, which is a very noble thing to do. Much respect.
It'd be funny if she went to start teaching people how to cook.
We'll get to the teaching instructor in season 5 there, Collins. We'll get there, but
I was not trying to tell Matt that, but I was like, yeah. I guess hoping you got the hint.
He doesn't know yet, but I pass it off to all of you. What did you think of Hell's Kitchen season 1, episode 1? Let us know in the comments. Please don't spoil it for Matt. Like his reactions to just Dewberry alone make this show 100% worth it.
Dewberry, you should be called the Dewberry Doughboy.
It gets way crazier. It gets way crazier this season.
I bet.
Like Gordon Ramsay literally starts fucking with them in later episodes.
But Collins, where can the people find you?
They can find me at 3D Movie Cinema. Yeah, I'm doing Red versus Blue, which is the red team versus the blue team Hell's Kitchen breakdown. No, it's a Hell's Kitchen podcast. No, I have I got. By the time this airs, we will have done Small Talk this week, and we will have done the Final Destination breakdown, and we will have done Final Destination
4
and Superman 4. Yeah.
All right, Matt Wyatt.
Well, I recently did a few reaction videos to the Fantastic Four 28 years later, the Superman behind the scenes reel, and I Know What You Did Last Summer, the newest installment of the franchise, and then I did a couple of reviews of Sinners with Ryan Coogler, and then I did a spoiler review for The Last of Us Season 2, Episode 2, so go and check that out.
I still haven't seen that episode yet. I keep hearing people tell me, everybody's told me what happened already. I'm like, well, it's nice to know that. I would have liked to have seen it myself, but okay.
Yeah, friends don't spoil movies for friends. Let's just leave it at that. But
that was my brother that spoiled it for me.
With the episode?
Yeah.
But it wasn't a movie, Ryan.
But I just want to say thank you to everyone for checking out this show, Small Talk. Thank you for checking out Faith-Based Movie Month. As of the recording of this video, the Hacksaw Ridge review just crossed 100 views, which is very nice of you, so thank you very much. I'll be concluding that month by reviewing Paul the Apostle of Christ, and then it's straight into Mission Impossible content for the month of May. But for Chef Jake, for Chef Matt, my name is Chef Ryan. Be sure to tip your waiter. We will see you next week.
Get out!